Hey guys, it's Eric. It's been a while. There's a lot that I want to say, a lot that I really feel you all deserve to hear, and I'm just going to summarize everything in saying that I am sorry for being away for so long, making these videos last night. I opened up a bunch, I don't know how I missed them, they just didn't pop up beforehand. A bunch of comments that I hadn't responded to, and so much encouragement, so many people saying that my videos were a godsend or that it's just what they needed at the right time, made a lot of sense. And I have to confess that I needed that encouragement. I have not been wasn't getting enough of it in the comments section of my other videos, and the Bible is very clear. Encourage one another daily while it's called today, lest any one of you gain a hardened heart with the deceitfulness of sin. That's what happened. And I have to be honest, I got a little bit bitter. And I regret that, and I wish that it hadn't happened, but it did, and it's okay. So from me to you, please encourage me more in the comments. Don't just think that just because I know that all of these things are true, that I don't need to hear from you guys that I've made an impact in your life. I do. And as an INFJ, I do. So when you stop encouraging me and you stop praising me for the things that I've done well, don't be surprised when I stop making these videos. Does that mean it's all on you? No, but it means that I need it. And as an INFJ, I need it. And with my love language being words of affirmation, I need it. And as a man, I need it. So please understand that if I'm to continue to, make these videos without getting a hardened heart, it's something that you guys are going to need to contribute back to me. If I'm pouring into you now by the authority God's given me, I can command you all to do as you ought. And that would just be, at that point, just charging duties, and there's no real reward in it. God loves a cheerful giver. But if I've sown spiritual seed among you, I deserve to reap a material harvest. But I'm not exercising that. I don't care about money. What I am saying is, if you're not going to support me to let me know that I'm doing a good job, tell me. Encourage me verbally. But having said all of that and getting that out of the way, I would like to move on. And I missed my turn. I just moved, so this is new to me. I'm on GPS. So today I'm going to be reopening up videos from my past and talking today about disquieted notions. Now, in the book of Proverbs, there is a scripture that says, "The matters of the heart are deep waters, but a person of wisdom draws them up." And in the book of Psalms, David says, "Why, my soul, are you disquieted within me? But I will hope in God for the help of his countenance." Now, what that's talking about, though I'm not here to teach the Bible, what that's talking about is his soul being disquieted within him. There was a storm going on, or an internal conflict. Much of what INFJs go through on a constant basis, you could say anxiety, depression, struggles, hopelessness, frustration, the cycle. So what I want to talk about is, from that same context, disquieted notions of an INFJ. INFJs, as you've viewed from my other videos, go check them out if you haven't. INFJs are introverted individuals, but they are odd. Odd, because thinking of social cues and societal norms doesn't really fit with us. We know what we should do, but that directly conflicts with what we want to do, because we want to be genuine people. And society says not to do that because that's weird. So we're genuine in the most weird way possible, because Society doesn't teach you how to be genuine, does it? So with no one to model that, we are bad at... We are good at being socially awkward, I'll put it that way. But here's the thing. We can't help but be genuine. That gets us hurt. We wear our hearts on our sleeves because we want to be true to ourselves, and that means that we have to be true to others as well. That gets us hurt. When we become disquieted, we can't simply say, nope, I'm fine, and lie about it. And if we do, you're still going to see these signs. Disquieted notions of an INFJ happen when an INFJ's emotions create a turbulent storm within them. While this is far more common in INFJ T types rather than INFJ As, assertive types are less given to external stimuli, so they have a better hand on this. But for you INFJ T types, this will be a constant struggle for you, so it's good to be aware of it. INFJ Ts are far more prone to this, even if you say you're fine. If your soul is disquieted within you as an INFJ T, what will happen is you will give off not passive-aggressive signs. You will give off emotional cues through the way you look at people, through the way you tense your shoulders, through your facial expressions, through the intenseness in your gaze. Alright? When you look at people and you are in a happy state, it looks like you're able to see through them and your eyes are full of compassion. People will flock to you, and for some reason people like to think that we're their counselors and dump all their emotional baggage on us because we care. When you're angry, people will actually become uncomfortable, and some of them will shy away from you, which for us is good. When we're angry, we don't want to be bothered, right? But that can also, it can have the reverse effect, because then you have other emotional people, or HSPs / empaths, I don't like that term, but caring people who will say, hey, what's wrong? You look like you're angry. And that makes us even angrier. And then we care so much to be genuine and true to others that we bottle it deep inside and say, oh no, I'm okay, because we care about how they make. But what that does is it creates a deeper storm that is going to come up with violent rage. You're going to scream, put a hole in the wall. When you have an episode, it's going to come up. And if you're not yelling at someone, if you're not cussing someone, if you're not insulting them and then crying and having an emotional breakdown followed by another swing of anger, lastly followed by low self-esteem and depression, saying you're not good enough, then needing encouragement, then feeling like your heart dropped to the floor and shattered into pieces, and you have to pick it all back up, but you don't know how, and the person around you feels overwhelmed, and now you're worried that you're a burden, and someone says that you're so high maintenance, and that just breaks your heart, and then you're angry again, and then it's a cycle, and then you're hurt, and then you look with that angry gaze, and people avoid you, and you wish that they'd stop avoiding you, but they don't avoid you, and when they finally stop interacting with you altogether, you think that you're just, it's just, oh, woe is me, unfortunate me, and you don't want to think that, and because you want to be true to yourself and true to others, you try to wear your heart on a sleeve again, as broken as it can be, and then you get more hurt, and you're more susceptible to pain, and you just want someone to heal you, and long story short, very long story short, if you don't recognize it before it gets out of hand, it's going to get out of hand. Now, let's say you're at that place. Your heart is broken a million times. You've given up. I don't trust people. Venom. They all just have venom. Humans. I don't just been hurt too many times. If that's you, you are in luck, because you can turn that around right now. For those who have stopped watching this video before this point, I feel sorry for them. That'll teach them a lesson when they finally get to the end of themselves and watch one of my other videos and you're like, he knows. Yeah, well, pay attention next time. Listen to me, and I'm getting somewhere with this. If that's you today, and you're at that place, the good news is there's a very easy fix. You can heal your heart and turn things around very easily. It's not complicated. It's not rocket science. You don't have to figure out some trigonometric equation. It's relative to steadying your heart with reality. It's going to hurt, but not very much. It's going to be hard, and if you can't conquer your feelings, step out of your comfort zone, and walk where it's uncomfortable, you're not going to heal. So, fair warning right now, every instinct in your body may tell you not to do it because you don't want to go there. The dark place in your psyche that tells you, no, trauma, stay away from that. Stay away. We don't talk about that trauma. You slap a donut on your car, you drive another 20 miles, and when it breaks down and that trauma comes up, you go to your trunk, you get another donut. Stop. Don't fix the car. That's what your psyche is telling you. Now that I pointed that out, it should be easier for you to rationalize and dive into the corners of your mind. But that's what your psyche is doing. It's slapping on donuts, and you keep breaking down, and you can't figure out why you're hurting, and you can't figure out how to heal your heart. And you've tried everything, and you wish that you could just go to church and say a nice little prayer and make it all go away, and that doesn't work, and you're still confused, and then people tell, oh, just pray, just give it to God, and that doesn't work, because you know, these church people and Jesus people are like, it's just Jesus, just give it to Jesus, and yes, well, that has its place. God gave us wisdom, okay? That the scriptures say to walk with the wise and become wise, and to help one another. So if that's you today, and you are hurting, you are welcome. I am a disciple of Jesus, and I hope that this inspires you to know that a lot of Christians are hypocritical and just don't know their heads from their butts. I do. And people are just confuse us. I hope that this inspires you to give some careful thought to the validity of the scriptures and what I'm saying and teaching from. So, let's dive into this, okay? You're hurt, your heart's been dropped, you're aching, you want to be better, you don't know how, you're confused, a million people say to try a million different things, you don't have time to try a million different things, you want to give up, you're angry, you're bitter, it hurts, no one's helped you, no one's done anything to make your life easier, and you're just done. Good news. The simple solution, no, not so simple, but the solution is easy. Hard to do, but easy to accomplish. Or vice versa. So, when you feel that pain, the first thing your brain is going to want to do, run away. Slap on the donut and avoid it. Okay? Don't do that. The next time you feel the pain, if me talking about it is hurting you, well, that's something that will need rectified. The pain is there and it needs dealt with. So, you are hurt by so-and-so because you trusted them and they didn't follow through. My previous videos, I talk about diagnosing specific events that cause trauma. In this video, I'm talking more broadly. When you feel that pain, the first thing you need to do is accept it. You need to feel it. Actually, the first thing you need to do is feel it. Then you need to accept it. Then you need to feel the hurt. And you need to let the hurt filter through. That's it. Very counterintuitive. You don't want to hurt. But if you want to be healed, you have to hurt. Feel it. Accept it. Acknowledge it happened. Acknowledge it's not part of your past, it's part of your present. And the sooner you stop running from that, the sooner you will finally be able to heal from that. Right? It's not a church thing. It's not a, oh, Jesus, help me thing. It's a, okay, Jesus, if you want to help me, you can do it, but I'm willing to just let you do it. I'm not going to slap this donut on. You can take the donut off and fix the car. I'm not going to fix the car. You can fix the car. Thank you for doing it for me. But you have to be willing to do it. Step one, feel the pain. Acknowledge it's not part of your past, it's part of your present. Otherwise, you wouldn't be hurting, right? So why are you hurting? Because you were hurt. So it's time to acknowledge that you're hurt. From then to now. From point A to point B, you're at point B. Feel it, accept it, acknowledge it, let it filter through. For me, my mother was very abusive and narcissistic and controlling and manipulative and threatening and a host of other things I won't get into. But for me, I had to heal. Sat down on the floor. I cried. I felt the anger. I felt the pain. I prayed it out. I let it go. I let it flow through me. I forgave. I let go of the bitterness. I acknowledged that the reason I was hurt in the first place was because of her. It was not my fault. I was not born to be a slave. I didn't deserve to be hurt, but I was hurt. And then I passed I probably should make a part 2 out of this. This is for a follow-up for later. I don't want to say too much more. I might lose people and it might make it harder for them. So you have to, the first step is to acknowledge it. Don't repress it in your thoughts and psyche. And then go on your way. Continue living your life. Be careful because your heart will be in a fragile healing state, okay? So your heart is going to be soft and in pain. Make sure to give yourself preferably 48 to 72 hours is the average time, I would say, away from people that can hurt you. That might mean that you tell your husband or your spouse or, yeah, I can still go this way, or your friend, look, please understand I need to be alone for the next 2 days. I turn off Facebook Messenger, no contact. You need to heal. You need to heal, okay? That means you cannot risk being hurt and having that wound ripped open again, or you're going to be in a worse state than before you started to deal with it. And you're still going to have to deal with it, and then let that pain filter through, and it's going to continue to happen until you're healed, okay? If you're in a 9-to-5 job, great. 9 to 5 on Friday, that's it. You need to take the weekend to heal. Yeah, you might be exhausted the next week, but your life will be transformed. You're not going to be hurt anymore, not the same way. You get to heal. You get to. You're not born to suffer. You get to heal and leave your past behind. It is real. There is hope. You get to be free. But you have to do it in a way that protects yourself while you're healing. This is why some people will take a hike to the woods and find themselves, quote unquote. And then they're spiritual and, the forest set me free, man. And they'll have a million reasons. I saw my spirit guide. No. You had a moment of euphoria because for the first time in your life, you actually got to heal because you weren't being hurt and you took the time to self-reflect. Congratulations, you found yourself in your little journey. You see what I mean? It's one of those things where people just placebo effect. They convince themselves of something. But I'm getting off track. Let me turn around. I need to turn around here. I can't. Son of a gun. Private sidewalk. No, it's not private. Alright. So, yes, you get to be free. Yes, it's real. And I'm sorry for all of the pauses. Like I said, I'm lost. I have GPS up, but I have no clue where I'm going. I just moved. Alright. Yes, you get to be free. You work 9 to 5, you work second shift. If you work at a warehouse, this can be tougher because of overtime. If you don't have overtime, that's the time to do it. Give yourself 2 days or so. Preferably a little bit more, but you need 48 hours to heal. Keep yourself away from the stressors, minimize your talking, minimize your socialization, minimize your contact with people. For you extroverts, this can be hard. Don't do it. I'm telling you, don't socialize. You may feel depressed, but I promise you, once you're healed, you'll have the time of your life. More than you did before. Don't self-destruct. Don't slap on that donut. Don't run away. You don't need socializing. You need to be alone. You need to self-reflect. You need to heal. Okay? For those who are introverts, you should be okay with this. But that's my, if you have any questions, if you have comments, if you have concerns, follow-ups, let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to help. But if you want to be free, you need to take that step. It's going to help you heal and forgive, but if you are holding on to bitterness from your past, you're not going to heal. If you're holding on to unforgiveness and self-righteousness, you're not going to heal. If you're holding on to pride, anger, and grief, and you won't let that go, you're not going to heal. Don't waste your time. This isn't for you. You can stay how you are, stay the way you are, continue to live your life, breaking down and trying your best to not get hurt and move on and keep your heart, and that can be your life. This isn't for you. If you want to hold on to anger, well, you don't understand what they did to me. I have my fair share of stories to tell. I'm just going to say, you're not going to get results. You cannot, they're not going to get this. You know what I mean? You can. If you want to be healed, you can be healed. You can be set free. But if you want to hold on to anger or grief and resentment, you are not. This isn't for you. You have to let it go. You have to let it go and move on from point A to point B. You're hurt from your past. You're hurt now. You want to move on? You want to be healed? You want to be free? Let it go. And you might say, well, that justice, I deserve justice. Well, then give your life to Jesus, be on the winning side, and they will be charged for the blood that they shed on Judgment Day. There's your justice. You might say, well, that's not fair. God can just forgive people. Yeah, he can. That's the whole point, whole reason why Jesus died. You're welcome. That's why I have this knowledge. That's why I'm healed, because Jesus healed me first. This isn't a religious topic, but I'm prophesying, so I'm just going to respond to people here. My point is just this, okay? You need to let it go if you want to be healed. You need to forgive. You need to release the bitterness. Acknowledge it happened. It's not happening anymore. But the more you relive your past, the longer it's going to be before you get to be free. You have an option to be healed and let it go and start over and have the car fixed. Fix the car. What you do is up to you. I do encourage you to loose yourself of these disquieted notions that an INFJ gives off, that people give off, but to loose yourself of the disquieted notions. And after all is said and done, I also encourage you to hope in God, because if there's one thing that will remain steady through all of the people who are evil in this world and who do evil and who hate God, and they only do evil because they refuse to submit to God. Why would a loving God send people to hell? Why do people choose hell over a loving God? Why is there evil in the world? Why do people do evil? Why are people guilty? That's my question. Why are people guilty? Why won't they just stop it? But point is, I encourage you to hope in God and to, like I said earlier in the video, consider the validity of the scriptures, because, yeah, there's a lot of hypocritical Christians, but no, I already went over it. Hope in God. And it's time to loose yourself from the struggle you've carried around with you. You get to be free. You don't have to stay the same. Yes, there is hope. Yes, there is healing. And it's a breath away. Good luck. God bless. And keep in touch in the comments.